And it goes a little something like.
Good morning, Belton High School. I'm Tanner Strife.
I'm Savannah Truitt.
And you're watching
Cutlass TV News.
Last Friday, Belton hosted a blood drive. Here's more on the event by Andrew Clark, Savannah Truitt, Chloe Murphy, Samantha LaValle, and Destiny Quarles.
Last week was Belton's annual blood drive. Teacher Ms. Capronis shares the importance of and planning of the event.
To plan the blood drive, we start usually at the very beginning of the school year, and we ask admin for a date that would work where there won't be any testing or any other disturbances that day. And then a couple weeks before we can start signing up people for their appointments, everyone gets to choose what time they sign up for, and usually we have about 130 open spots. And by about the day before, we try to have everyone signed up and permission slips passed out to everyone that will need them. The purpose of the blood drive is to collect pints of blood to help save people's lives. Usually 1 pint of blood can save about 2 lives, and this year we were able to collect 103 pints of blood. We had about 127 people who attempted to donate, but usually there's a few who can't donate due to iron shortages or something similar to that. So we collected 103 pints, which could save approximately 206 lives. So hopefully we were able to do some good out in our community.
Students share their experience with the blood drive this year.
I wanted to help people out because I am cool with that. It went quickly and didn't hurt really bad, only a little bit.
I had a family member that had cancer and it really wasn't great. So it seemed like the right thing to do. It was interesting. The hospitality was great. Overall, it was a good experience. I would recommend it, mostly because it would be helping other people out that really need it, and it just looks good on your part too.
Well, my grandpa had cancer, and I just thought it was the right thing to do because he had a blood transfusion when he was having chemo and stuff like that. So I just knew that it was the right thing to do. It was great. Everybody there was super nice. I got in and out really quick. They told me everything that they were going to do before they did it, and it just went really smoothly. I would absolutely recommend donating blood because you can help save a life.
With Destiny Quarles, Chloe Murphy, and Savannah Truitt, this is Samantha LaValle for Cutlass TV News.
Girls Swim has started at Belton High School. Here's more on the upcoming season by Chloe Murphy, Destiny Quarles, and Andrew Clark.
This year's swim season has backstroke into action. Sophomore Michaela Aaron and junior Gabby Stoddard share their favorite things about this year's swim season.
I swam the 50 freestyle and 100 butterfly. My greatest achievement was breaking the 100 butterfly school record and then also being a part of the relays that broke records last year. My goal this year is to take both of our relays to state and hopefully take my 100 butterfly to state. I love my teammates the most. It's great going to swim practice and having people that are there for you and that will motivate you to become not only a better swimmer but a better person.
This is my 3rd year swimming high school and my 9th year swimming altogether. I swim all 3 of the relays. It just kind of depends on what we're kind of feeling that day, and then I swim 100 free and 100 back. We're kind of like a really big family unit, and we all go off of each other. Our family dinners, we have a lot of fun at those, and they're like right before meets, so they're really fun, and we mess around and we get in trouble, but that's okay.
For Chloe Murphy, Destiny Quarles, and TJ Brown, I'm Andrew Clark for Cutlass TV News.
Our Belton Decade chapter took a trip to New York this last week. Here's more on the story by Savannah Truitt, Josh Fife, and Jessica Larson.
Last week, 10 students from the Belton High School DECA program traveled across the country to New York City for their national conference. The head advisor, Mr. Miller, shares some details on the club's trip to the Big Apple.
Every year, DECA has a conference in New York called the New York Experience. And my officers every year get to pick the trip that we go on. And for the third year in a row, they've decided to go to New York to experience that chaos. We fit a lot of stuff in basically 3.5 days. We went to, obviously we spent time in Times Square, we went to Madison Square Garden, we went to the Statue of Liberty, we went to Central Park, we went to lots of other things. There was a lot of stuff packed in there, spent a lot of time. Especially if they've never been on a trip, the students get excited when they finally get to go somewhere for the first time. And that's always fun to show them, something new that they haven't experienced before.
For chapter president Logan Ferrari, this year marks his third journey to the New York Experience Conference.
I went on the trip to New York because I am the Belton DECA chapter president, and I've been there for 2 years already. This was our big officer trip this year. So I decided to go because I wanted to. It's a really good time, and you get to, not only do you get to see an amazing city, but you get to build better connections with a lot of your friends and other people in DECA. We go through New York, see all the main attractions there, and kind of just get the experience of living in a different place. It's definitely different than Missouri. Food's different, people are different. There's over 200 languages in the city, so you hear a lot of things you don't understand.
DECA officer Sarah Spencer talks about her first-time experience on the trip.
My first New York trip was really fun. It was really busy and loud. I was nervous I was going to get lost the first few days, but then I didn't. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. My favorite part was seeing the Rockettes, the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular, because I've seen a documentary on them before. It was really cool. It's really clean. I'm hoping that we go somewhere else next year because I've gone to New York for the past 3 years, but I was still really excited to go, and I just want to explore different places.
With Joshua Fife and Jessica Larson, I'm Savannah Truitt for Cutlass TV News.
Belton High School staff encourages students to finish this semester strong. Here's more on the story by Brian Reyes, Michael Landreth, Daniel Higgins, and Isaac Peterson.
The conclusion to the first semester at Belton High School is nearing each day. To remind us to finish strong and stay on top of things, Principal Mr. Clark sits down and talks about completing this year with a bang.
Ideally, there's never a time that we're not pushing ourselves to do our very best, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the job site, and whether it's on the athletic field or on the performance stage. But regardless, we do reach a point in time at different points in time in the year where the end is coming up. And right now we're talking about the end of first semester. And what we do fully appreciate is the fact that these increments of time also provide a calculation for how a student did in a particular class. And so with the remaining days, and I believe there are 9 left prior to final exams as of today, there still is an opportunity for a lot of students to capture that credit or to raise that GPA just by 1 point if they simply will apply themselves. And for those that have been applying themselves, the message is continue to play well, continue to do what you need to keep our scores up and your scores up. Bottom line is this is all about student learning, and so we recognize that if we're all after it at all points in time, then the need for finish strong is not there. But at the same time, it's human. It's human to allow ourselves to relax. And so as a result, you've got folks like me saying, hey guys, let's push to the finish and let's do well on this assignment. Go back and talk to your teachers and find out what it is that you can do to do well on your upcoming final exams.
Junior Julio Pasorto and Mr. Clark give students tips and strategies on how one can finish the year and achieve their goals.
I would rely on teachers because they're a big tool in achieving your goals. They want to help you. They know the subject better than anyone else. They are generally nice people, at least in my case. Studying hard, making sure that you have time to stay after if need be, or to do all of your homework and study and such. Think of your goal, what do you want? Do you want good grades? Do you want to go to insert college title? And then you start working towards it, step at a time, and just don't think of it as I want to do all 4 years. They think of this like I'm gonna do this assignment and then this assignment and then like work on that and then do that and then it just kind of happens and the time will fly by faster than you think.
I think the key, candidly, is stay motivated, and then you'll identify those strategies. You know, some of us do perform well under pressure, and we back ourselves up, and it's like, okay, now it's time to buckle down and go. That's an unfortunate reality because it does pay, it does cost us in the end. But then there are others that, candidly, if we do a little bit each day, we find ourselves in a position to do well. And certainly as we prepare for whatever the final project is, we may have to invest a little bit more. But candidly, I think the number one is recognizing that school is important and how I do in school is important, and just finding it within ourselves to motivate ourselves, and then grit is another big deal. You know, just perseverance. I am not going to quit. I am never going to quit. I'm not going to let myself settle. I think those are two features that will serve us all well, and not only here at Belton High School and here in this semester, but for life. The journey is ours to be had. Let's just do it well, and let's do it together. And at the same time, with holidays coming up, happy holidays, everybody.
With Isaac Peterson, Daniel Higgins, and Michael Andreth, I'm Brian Reyes with Cutlass TV News.
Here's this week's sports report.
I'm Samantha LaValle.
And I'm Chloe Murphy.
And welcome back to Sports Report.
The varsity basketball team went 1-2 last week at the Republic Tournament.
Jaden Clark led the Pirates, averaging 20 points per game over the tournament.
Congratulations to Antoine Nunn, who broke the school record for steals in a game on Saturday with 7. Also, Cardan Smith tied the record for the most assists in a game with 7.
Belton Wrestling finished 4th as a team in a very tough Neosho tournament.
Girls swimming defeated St. Pius, Truman, William Chrisman, Winnetonka, and Van Horn while falling to Pembroke Hill. This brings our record to 13-1.
The Lady Pirates competed in a tight game Tuesday against William Chrisman. It resulted in a loss for the Pirates, 51-44.
Belton Wrestling won all 3 dual matches, defeating Truman 59-12.
The varsity men's basketball team defeated Fort Osage in their home opener Wednesday 72-62. And the Lady Pirates basketball team fell by double digits to Lee Summit West last night on the road.
And the Pirate Wrestling team lost to Ray Peck last night at home.
Tune in next week for Sports Report. Thanks for watching Belton High School.
Remember to tune in next week.
And as always, Carpe Diem.